Hey everybody, how you doing? John Egan here from Dreamfire Films. Today I'm going to walk you through the Gun Warfare Action Pack. What you just saw was a scene from my action film Nerf Rebellion that I redid using only visual effects and sound effects from the Gun Warfare Action Pack, so that you can get an idea for what this pack is capable of. Now this is really great for the filmmaker that doesn't want to spend a lot of time hand making every single effect and would rather just drag and drop them directly onto their scene. Now to start out, you're going to get a zip file. On a Mac, you can usually just double click it and it'll open right up, but on a PC you might need to download another program. I've heard a lot of people like 7-zip, that's a number 7-zip.org. I haven't used that one, but I have used WinRAR, WinRAR, and WinZip. Now if you're on a Mac, you might notice that QuickTime wants to convert these files in order to play them. That's because in order to have a transparent background, they have to have a specific codec that QuickTime doesn't recognize currently. When you go to close it, you can save it as this new converted file that QuickTime made. I wouldn't suggest it, it's not necessary. I hit don't save. I would suggest downloading VLC Media Player. It's a great and totally free media player that I've been able to play almost any video file with. And they put a Santa hat on it around Christmas time, so how could they not be awesome? To get VLC Media Player, go to videolan.org. Then you can just drag and drop these files onto VLC and they'll play immediately. Now this is the first automatic fire muzzle flash. As you can see, it's playing on a loop right now. I call this one diagonal because it's not exactly a side shot. It's easier to tell in this other one here where I added the star effect. But what's great about these is you have a muzzle flash for almost any situation you can encounter. The front, the side, the suppressed weapon, and even just the stars themselves. And I've made it so that there's two versions of each, one with smoke and one without. Then of course I added them as single shots. I believe that some things in movies need to be exaggerated to make them more impactful. That's why I like to have my muzzle flashes really ridiculously oversized and really bright. Here are some more. Each one is a unique shape, and I even have one just for smoke. With this, you really have the power to mix and match as many as you want to make an awesome shootout scene. As for the tracers, I've also made a bunch of automatic fire and single shots. This barrage of tracers is good if your actors are in the middle of a war and getting shot at from all different sides. And the single shots allow for more accurate placement if, say, you have one shooter off in the distance, or even just in the center of the screen. And on a few of these, I've added the actual tracer that I used, so you can just take it, drag it into your After Effects file or whatever, and animate it however you want. Look up my tracer tutorial for more help on using these. These bullet shells are really fun because they're so easy to add to your shot. If you're going to animate it yourself, you're going to want one of these spinning bullet shells. Test out using either a clockwise or a counterclockwise one and see which one looks better. It usually depends on if it's flying to the left or to the right. But if you just want to drag and drop a stream of shells flying out of the gun, I've already animated them for you right here. You got some far away shots, some close-up shots, and even some shotgun shells. And then we have blood hits. The first one is a fast blood mist hit, and the second one is the same thing but in slow motion. I thought it looked kind of cool, and maybe you guys can come up with a creative use for it. The second fast mist hit is just a different variation of the first. Maybe try combining them to get some new looks out of them. Then you've got your wet blood hits. These are going to be good for close-ups of someone getting hit in the chest or wherever as a quick cutaway. Speeding them up sometimes helps. And you may just have to mask out this little spot where the blood starts. I've added a lot of bullet holes for a lot of different situations you might run into. You got metal and concrete taken from a few different angles. And I find that sometimes even solid colors like these will work in certain instances. I put this red dot on some guy's white shirt where he was hit with a bullet. I tracked it to his shirt as he fell down, and it really looked like he was hit there. This next section I really enjoyed making. They are the debris hits. You got your ground hit for bullets hitting the ground, as well as your wall hits. Change their color, speed, size, and maybe even add some more blur, and they can work in almost any environment. But I'd say one of the coolest things we have in here are the sound effects. I added a disclaimer saying that these could be very loud, so be sure to keep your volume low the first time you play them. And below that are the credits to the really awesome people who let me use these in the pack. I added the original sounds that I got from them, as well as some that I altered myself. Let's start with some bullet flybys. Here we have bullets hitting things, as well as some separate debris sounds. Oh, and the guns. Try combining a few at once to make something really unique and cool. Be sure to trim anything you don't need and add some simple equalizers or pitch shifters or other audio effects for your particular needs. Here are your human sounds. Now let's take a look at how easy it is to use these effects. Here I have an After Effects file with some 1920 by 1080 footage. I'm using Adobe After Effects Creative Cloud version 13.1.1.3. After you've imported all the files into After Effects or a similar program, you can just drag and drop what you need. Let's start out with a single shot muzzle flash. Hit open bracket to bring it to the playhead's location, and it's pretty much ready to go. You can add some color grade if you want. Simply line it up, rotate it, scale it, whatever you want to do. Let's throw a tracer in there. You can preview one by double-clicking on it in the project file window, then click back over to your composition tab up top, drag that clip into the composition window, hit left bracket again. You may need to find the exact frame you want of the tracer footage by sliding it left or right on the timeline. Again, you can scale it and rotate it however you would like. And because we're so close to the actor firing the weapon, I'm just going to use one frame of the tracer and have it occur at the same time as the muzzle flash. Get rid of the excess beginning footage of the tracer in the timeline. Looks cool. How about a rifle shell? It's so nice when these effects are already created for you. I'm going to speed up the rest of what I did here with these effects because I think you get the idea of how easy it is to add them to your shot. My other tutorials go hand in hand with this pack to show you how you can add things like environmental lighting that is cast from the muzzle flash and advanced motion blur settings for the bullet shell. And there you have it. It's as easy as that. At the end of this video, I'll put a link to the Gun Warfare Action Pack, as well as one for my Muzzle Flares tutorial. Hey, if you could, give me a like, a subscribe, and a comment, and I'll keep bringing you videos. Alright guys, catch you later.